Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video of Fox Reacts. Today I'm joined by my dad. And go ahead and give an introduction. Say anything.
Good morning, I'm Dad.
Good enough. Today we're watching a food theory video about how you should skip the salad and just eat more chocolate.
So what?
Let's see what MatPat has to say. Huh, making a Popeye reference, huh? Damn, his head just shattered.
More chocolate eating.
Well, let's just see.
Hello, Internet! Welcome
All
to
right.
Food Theory, the only show on the internet that contains your daily value of knowledge in a single 15-minute serving. Now, unless you've
Always
been living
here for
under a
that.
rock for the last 9 decades, you're probably familiar with this guy, Popeye the Sailor Man. Even though I don't know a single person who's
You
ever
definitely are.
watched one of his cartoons straight through, this dude has broken through and persisted in
Good
pop
luck.
culture in a way that few other cartoons from that era have. He's an amusement park ride, he's a video game, he's a YouTube
Really?
series, he's Robin Williams.
But wouldn't it instead be that Robin Williams is Popeye?
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, YouTube series? I did not know that.
I think they're saying how Popeye has influenced all these other people.
I mean, yeah, that would just make
or
sense.
Cartoons.
I mean, especially that amusement park ride. He's owned by Disney.
That one is a weird watch.
Eat this spinach. See
What
in
the-
Davy Jones's locker.
There's even a theory that Jeeps, you know, the four-wheel drive military vehicles, yeah, those things, they may have gotten their name because of Popeye. You see, in the
Really?
comics, there's a character named Eugene the Jeep, an extra-dimensional dog-like creature,
remember
because
that?
why not give the really strong sailor guy a sidekick that can hop between realities? Anyway, because
Oh, I
Eugene the
see now.
Jeep was small and able to move anywhere, soldiers during World War II used the word Jeep as the nickname for their small all-terrain vehicles, and it just kind of
Alright, that makes
stuck.
sense.
But all of that is small potatoes compared to Popeye's true legacy.
He ain't to please.
What's his
Using
most
physical
famous for?
violence to
Eating
solve your
his
problems.
spinach.
Sorry, I got a bit too real there for a second. What I meant to say was spinach. Eating spinach.
I think back there where Popeye hit him,
Pluto?
yeah, Bluto was so fat that he would not have been able to knock him that far back. A lot of the impact would have went into all of his gut.
Yeah,
Let's go back and watch that part again.
I can actually agree with you on that. I mean, that kind of punch, it does this. Just that's what would have happened.
Not that.
Yeah, not that. He wouldn't have gone flying back like that. He probably would have stumbled maybe a few feet, but would have been like, damn.
And I wonder why the suit and the umbrella are both black.
Oh, mostly because of the coloring, really, just black and white. I mean, you're very limited colors.
Yeah.
You got black, white, and anything in between that. You don't have red or anything until Technicolor was added. And that wasn't until, like, the late 50s, wasn't it? Late 50s, early 60s?
Yeah.
Using physical violence to solve your problems. Sorry, I got a bit too real there for a second. What I meant to say was spinach. Eating spinach to grow superhuman strength. Popeye's usage of spinach became so immediately
spinach.
iconic that according to the official website, Popeye not only contributed to a 33% increase in spinach sales, it did so during the Great Depression. One of the toughest times in
Really?
economic history, and Popeye is just out here making
Alright,
dat
that's
green
cool.
by eating dat green. And honestly, from there, the rest is history, with Popeye's love of spinach living on in parodies to this very day.
All right, guys, I know this looks desperate, but I got this can of spinach.
Oh, I remember this episode.
Oh, God, it's all watery.
Now,
He just swallowed a whole can of
Look,
spinach like it
what?
was
He's gonna eat the
nothing.
spinach and then he gets beat up.
I mean, he's already being beat
this
up.
may sound like I'm winding up to say that this was the whole crazy beginning for spinach's claimed health fame. Actually not. The whole eat spinach to get strong thing actually started back in the 1870s when
Oh,
a chemist
look at
named
that.
Eric von Wolf published an article reporting that a single serving of spinach actually contained a whopping 35 grams of iron. He was wrong. Very, very wrong. That would be the
always wrong.
equivalent of chewing out a paperclip. The story always goes that he misplaced a decimal point in his calculations,
Oh,
thereby
that would make
scientists
more
reporting
sense.
the amount of iron in spinach by a factor of 10. But the real reason seems like it was more rooted in bad experimental design. And that, my friends, is why you never do
Yeah.
your math homework using a pen. It's also worth noting, in an ironic twist, Popeye didn't actually start eating spinach for its iron content like everyone assumes. Rather, he did it for its vitamin A content. Going back to the
Oh.
very first time ever
Vitamin
Popeye
A?
explains why he eats spinach, he says, quote, "Spinach is full of vitamin A, and that's what makes humans strong and healthy." Clearly, it's
Oh,
not
that
what
voice.
helps
Human.
dem humans speak
What's a
the
human?
proper English. Regardless,
I'm guessing Popeye speaks for human.
Oh, it makes humans strong and healthy.
Yeah, because if you remember
Yeah,
the way
well-
Popeye speaks, he speaks with a little bit of flaw, so it's always kind of like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of
Spinach
just go.
is full of vitamin A, and that's the makes humans strong and healthy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to talk Popeye, you just gotta jet your jaw to the side, kind of like this, and then you're talking all Popeye. Kind of hurts a little.
are the reason the damage was done. Spinach was cemented in the public consciousness as a superfood.
But we says we hate spinach.
Hate spinach.
It was a
You have
33%
to eat it to
increase
get health,
of
strength,
consumption.
and vitality.
Suddenly, mothers everywhere were
No.
shoving stringy
No,
green.
that was the iron content. And there was an increase in consumption of 33% of it, so it was then. You're wondering what the hell's going on in this, aren't you?
Look at her. She's making that baby cry. You know, babies usually make you react in the way they're reacting.
Hmm.
So the baby's like, "Ah!" and she's doing the same thing.
Unless it's some people, then it's the other way around.
Greens down the throats of their unexpecting children in the
She
hopes
threw
that
it all
one
over
day
his
it'd
face.
turn them into absolute chads. And it would take scientists, get this, 60 years to find
All
out
she
that
had to do was
Von
throw
Wolf's
cheese on
numbers
his face
were
and start
actually
crying.
wrong. So with everything science and pop culture thought it knew about spinach suddenly thrown out the window, I wanted to start from scratch. Just how healthy is spinach? Are the health benefits just a bunch of historic hype? Does it
can't
even
barely see
still
it.
count as a superfood? In a story that has just been a
I
cast.
mean, if you want to show the cup, you gotta bring it more towards the camera to where they can actually see it.
Oh, this is my cup.
We do not endorse the use of drugs.
No, I'm addicted to my coffee pot.
I'm saying that because the YouTube algorithm, they see the word pot, they're going to be like, oh, they're talking about weed, cancel the channel.
No, pot is not weed.
Well, it's one of the slang terms for it.
We fix food in a pot every once in a while. And we have a coffee pot. And we put money in a pot.
Dad, the YouTube algorithm, it's unforgiving.
Cascading series of misinformation piled on top of more misinformation. Does any of this have any meaning? Well, theorists, that is exactly what I plan to explore today. And the results are gonna give you a lot of fun talking points the next time someone tries to get you to eat your greens. Let's start where
I
it
like
all
eating
began.
spinach.
Is spinach a good source of iron? Well, according to the USDA, 100 grams of raw spinach contains 2.7 milligrams of iron. Considering an average person needs about 18 milligrams of iron per day, that's about 15% of your daily recommended value. Compare that to
All right,
kale,
not bad.
another green leafy vegetable that gets a lot of health hype. It has about half the iron content of spinach. Iceberg lettuce, literally nothing. Zero. Nada. So relative to other green leafy vegetables, spinach is looking pretty good. But compared to other
anime
foods,
laugh.
yeah, spinach doesn't come close. 100 grams of beef, 20% your daily value. 100 grams of
Nice.
tofu, 30%. Dark chocolate, a whopping 66% of your daily value of iron. Heard that right. If you're eating
Yeah.
spinach for its iron content and not worried about calories, you are better off eating chocolate. Making matters worse for spinach is
Nice.
that of its 2.7 milligrams of iron, most of it can't be absorbed by the body. You see, just because you eat something doesn't make your body able to use it. It needs to also be
that is true.
bioavailable.
That's
In
what
other
it's
words, it needs to be able to enter the
Yeah.
circulation when introduced into the body,
Using
thus
is definitely a
allowing
good
it to
way.
have an active effect. When it comes to the 2.5 milligrams of iron you get from eating a steak, 20% of
That
that
guy
gets
can't see
absorbed,
anyway.
meaning that what you actually walk away with there is half a milligram of iron for your system. The iron found in vegetables, meanwhile, has terrible bioavailability. A measly 1.7% of the iron in spinach is able to get absorbed into your bloodstream, meaning that what you really get is 0.0.
Invested in chocolate.
What, Mad Pat?
Yeah, because now chocolate sales are going to soar because of this video.
I mean, not really. I mean, the people that are going to see us are going to be like, huh, that's a good way of thinking about it. But probably aren't going to be, you know, buying chocolate by the buckets to truckloads.
They'll buy their spinach, and then they'll also buy chocolate, and they'll up their percentage daily.
Hmm. Well,
Supersize it.
just upping the percentage doesn't do anything. He's talking about how much of the iron is even available
Oh,
and actually
absorbed.
taken in by the
Oh.
body. Yeah, you could eat 10 pounds of spinach and only take away 1 milligram of iron for your system.
Yeah, you have to have the right
0.44
vitamins.
milligrams, a fraction of a fraction
guess.
of a fraction of what you thought you were consuming. Dark chocolate, meanwhile, yep, that has iron that's moderately available, about the same level as steak. So again, a huge point in
Nice.
favor of adding more chocolate to your diet and dialing back on the greens.
Chocolate's
But
gotta be
clearly
spiced
spinach
up.
has got to be good for
Yeah.
other things, right? I mean, even Popeye was more interested in the vitamin A that it could provide. And yeah, according to our good friends over at the USDA, 100 grams of spinach contains 8% of your fiber, 34% of your daily vitamin A, 13% of your vitamin B6, 34% of your vitamin C, 22% of your magnesium, 5 of your calcium, 10
You know what's strange? Why are those...
Oh, that's a lot more than 100%. That don't make any sense.
Let's see. That's 42. Then we got 53. Then we got 48. And, you're right.
But it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Well, it's just
Because
everything
if you were
that's
getting
contained.
100% of each of them, you would be getting 100% as 700% as being a whole.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that these are just parts of what makes this, well, this.
Right. And that's the 100%.
Yeah, this is the 100%. This is just parts of it.
So you're getting 8% of that is fiber.
Yeah. Now, what I was trying to say is, why are there so many different vitamin Bs?
How many vitamin Bs?
Yeah, I mean, why is that? I mean, there's like a B12 for some reason.
Yeah, there's different Bs.
Maybe I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, the birds
Oh,
and
what
the
the?
bees.
Oh, no, hold on.
28% of
We're
your
back.
daily folic acid. You don't have to know what any of that means, but you know.
No idea what happened. So, for some reason, YouTube just went back on us. But we're back. We're slightly ahead of where we were, but let's just continue on.
Oh,
we
that's
just
a
went
lot
back in
of
the
double-digit percentages in the words that
Whatever.
are on the nutrition label that you're supposed to care about. But you know what else has a lot of double-digit percentages there? Dark chocolate with high cocoa content. 5 times the amount of fiber. More than double the magnesium.
tricep.
More
Is that
calcium.
this?
Double the potassium. 89% of your copper. 98% of your daily manganese.
Alright.
Plus phosphorus, zinc, and selenium. Vitamins? Yeah, non-existent in chocolate. But in practically everything else that people brag about when it comes to spinach, dark chocolate is right there every step of the way, doubling
Alright.
or more the health benefits. All of this is before we even
Yeah.
start considering portion size.
Way
When
too much
calculating all
sugar.
this nutrition data, the USDA uses the same weight across the board so you can compare like with like. That's why everything
Alright.
clocks in at 100 grams. But have you ever really stopped and asked, like, how much really is 100 grams? It's a lot. For something small and dense like black beans, it's over half a cup. For chocolate, it's a full chocolate bar that comes with a fair number of calories. But for
Alright.
spinach, which is especially light, it is a whopping 3.5 cups. When you
Damn.
buy a bag like this at the grocery store, all those health benefits, to get those, it's assuming that you're eating literally the whole bag. And when you consider that the average
Even I
serving
don't do
size of
that.
spinach is 1 cup, I've gotta say, things are starting to look a bit bleak out here for our leafy
much
green
raw
boy.
spinach
And if you're
would
buying your
deliver
spinach
pretty good.
fresh from the
Probably
grocery
good.
store, boy, have I got news for
got a
you.
bunch
Your
of
spinach
Popeye
likely
guys.
won't contain even half of those nutrients. Let's talk about grocery store delivery chains, shall we? You ever wonder how a grocery store is able to sell certain fresh foods year-round even though, you know, foods
wax
are
on it.
grown in seasons? Well, that's because most of the quote-unquote
let's see.
fresh produce found in chain grocery stores was actually harvested several weeks to even months prior to them ending up on the shelves. You see, in
Okay.
order to supply staple fresh veggies year-round, a producer needs to first extend the shelf life of the harvest. This process normally starts by chemically treating the foods, packaging them, and then
How about this? How about this? Greenhouses. You can literally grow anything at any point.
But you
inside a
need
greenhouse.
more colors of vegetables than just green. People aren't just going to buy green vegetables.
Dad,
What?
it's a greenhouse because nature is green. Not because what you're growing in is green.
Oh, well, hell.
You could grow apple trees in there.
Well, they have green leaves.
Red apples.
and placing them in a controlled atmosphere. These
Yeah,
atmospheres are often low in oxygen and high in CO2 in order to slow the production of ethylene, the hormone that's responsible for ripening fruits. Yeah, I know, we don't typically think about fruit as having hormones, but apparently if you slow this thing down, you won't have to worry about your fruit going through fruit puberty anytime soon. Some of the worst offenders of this are apples,
So
which
many
according to an
jokes.
article published in Agricultural
dad
Research
jokes.
magazine back in October of 2007, can be
Yeah,
stored
that passes
under
that.
controlled atmosphere conditions for up to 10 months before they hit a store shelf. So while your spinach isn't being stored for nearly that long, it is taking a couple of weeks before it even makes its way onto your dinner plate. By that time, most
so
of its
maybe that's why
nutritional
it
value
passes
has
so fast.
already been lost. A 2004 study found that it only takes 8 days in a refrigerated environment for spinach to suffer a nutrient loss of over 50%. That means that by the time those leafy greens hit your stomach, they're pretty much just complicated water. In fact, from a health standpoint, you're better off eating frozen spinach than the fresh stuff, because the other stuff gets frozen before it has time to lose all those nutrients. You know what doesn't easily
That looks
lose its
gross.
nutritional value? Dark
green
chocolate,
pellets.
just saying. But hold
I'm
on,
getting the idea
theorists,
that
because there's one more
chocolate's,
spinach health
being
claim that we have
promoted
yet
in
to
this
discuss, and it's oddly relevant now
Well,
because
look, what MatPat does is that he looks up facts about one thing, and then he gets curious. So he starts up looking facts about another thing, and boom, videos.
Like Flat Earth.
Maybe.
We'll have to do one on that.
God, no. He deals with video games, films, and food. Nothing of real life. He doesn't
Okay.
deal with politics or NASA or
because we just
all
got
that
through a Winter
crap.
Olympics where, surprise, surprise, in what seems to be an Olympic tradition at this point, Russia is suspected of doing something sketchy with their athletes. This year, it was a banned
Look how
drug
long
named
it's been, though.
trimetazidine. Before that, it
they
was,
look
well,
normal.
it was a lot of different things. But back during the 1980 Olympics, it was spinach. Kinda. Russia was thought to be
Really?
using ecdysterone, the main compound found in spinach extract, to better the performance of their athletes due to its adaptogenic qualities. Now, if the term
Oh.
adaptogenic
Whatever,
sounds
they were
familiar, well,
taking
it's probably because
steroids.
the concept of
That's what they were
adaptogens
doing.
has
I mean,
been
it
around
looks
for a
like
long
it's
time, with
They
the
could've been
first
doing
known
both.
research on them being conducted by none other than the Soviet Union back in World War II. The idea behind adaptogens is that they allow your body to quickly adapt to physical, chemical, or biological stress. But, science might disagree a bit. If you're planning on reaching your final evolutionary form by adding ecdysterone to your diet, not so fast. In clinical trials,
Hold up, though.
ecdysterone was found to actually not have any effect on human performance. Sorry, but it looks like no one's body will be ready because of this stuff. So, considering all of this information, is spinach truly deserving of its title superfood? No, but hold on to your
look at that.
acai bowls
It's
because
not.
superfoods aren't even real in the first
never
place.
buying
The term was actually
superfoods,
coined
man.
100 years ago by the United Fruit Company as a way to sell more bananas. Since then, it's been
Really?
slapped on everything from berries to barley. According to a 2016 report by Mintel, between the years 2011 and 2015, there was a 202% increase globally in the number of new food and
Damn.
drink products launched containing the word superfood, superfruit, or supergrain. In truth, many of the foods aren't better than their non-branded counterparts. The supposed health benefits that set them apart from the rest, those were supported by studies specifically funded to find those benefits. For example, a 2015 study funded by the California
Yes,
Marketing
yes, it was.
Raisin Board, I wonder if they have a bias in this race, aimed to show that raisins were a healthy snack. And so they did it by comparing them to commercially processed foods.
Raisins
Go
are
figure.
disgusting.
Imagine conducting an entire study just to see who's gonna be healthier. The guy
Raisins
that's
are
eating a
lot
box of
healthier, yeah.
raisins or the guy that's eating a
Yeah, raisins may be healthier, but they have no taste.
Yeah, they do.
Eh,
If you have fresh raisins, they do.
Hmm.
But if they're old and they're hard, they're kind of
like all these box ones.
yeah. A lot of them are hard because they've had air get into them over time, or they've been sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
But if you I had some raisins in South America one time that were fresh. It was a whole bag. They were yellow. And man, they were good.
Yeah, okay, that probably does make sense. I mean, because every time I've tried one of these Sun Maiden boxes, they've always just been bitter to no flavor. Like, they have nothing.
bag of potato chips. Apparently, the key to having a
God,
successful
sucks.
product is just slapping the word super on it and calling it a day. So from now on, we're just gonna be releasing super theories here on Food Theory. Make sure you hit that super subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on any of our knowledge boosting benefits. So there you have it, friends. Spinach, it's fine. As long as you consume it immediately
brain
out of the
does look
ground
like
and eat a lot of it, then yeah, you're gonna get an okay amount of health benefits from it. Or, you know, the alternative is just managing your calories properly and eating some dark chocolate chocolate. The only bad news for
That's
Popeye
it,
is
no
that it
more
doesn't come
spinach
out of a
for me.
can. Speaking of superfoods,
now you gotta
super
walk
tasting
out.
foods, that is, it's time to talk about our sponsor for today's episode,
get chocolate
HelloFresh.
for
With
my daily-
HelloFresh, you get fresh,
daily diet.
pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered straight to your doorstep. No, it's a
seen a
little
lot
past
of,
Valentine's Day, but time
sponsorships
is an
from,
illusion, so I'm just gonna
HelloFresh.
go on this tangent anyway. Basically, every February, I make it my sworn duty to do 14 nice things for Stephanie, one for each day leading up to Valentine's Day. And one of those things is
boy.
almost always making her
Yeah.
a home-cooked meal. Now, if you've tuned into this channel
Oh,
long
pin
enough, you know
wedges.
that it's not really my specialty.
Oh God, no wonder I feel sick. I feel sick.
It's fine. It's edible sawdust.
But with HelloFresh, I was able to make the whole family something
I remember
delicious
that
for
episode.
Valentine's Day that involved more than just 2 ingredients, pasta and jar of sauce. And if it can do it for me, then it can absolutely
Oh
do
my
the same
God.
thing for you. Look, would I like to
potato
prepare a
wedges look
fresh
pretty
home-cooked
good.
meal every day?
Those really
Yes,
good.
absolutely. But in order for that to happen, the stars have had to have aligned. I had to have gone to the grocery store earlier that week and made sure I got the right stuff and then taken the time to prep everything. It just doesn't happen. It is not realistic with my schedule right now. But with HelloFresh, everything is there. It's on my doorstep. It is ready to go. In fact, I don't waste food with HelloFresh. Their pre-proportioned
it's
ingredients
sponsorship.
means that there's less prep time
I mean, we could
and
just,
less wasted
pause now
food.
and,
And I'm not the
do
only
our
one to feel
outro.
that way. According to a study done by the University of Michigan,
we're not gonna
HelloFresh
get
cuts
any
down on your
benefit
food
out of
waste
it.
by at least 25.
Yeah.
That's him.
Well, anyway, folks, that's where we're going to end off today's video. Want you to run with the like, comment, and subscribe for more. Run with the ring that notification bell.
And
down in the description will be a link to the original video. And before we go, Dad,
if there's any comments on me being in the video, I'd sure like to hear your feedback.
well, until then, this is Fox and Dad signing out.